Hello, Vlaire. This is the first Patreon request I've done on this platform because YouTube, well, quite frankly, YouTube is nuts when it comes to trans people because we have to protect their precious fucking feelings, despite the fact that they were adult enough to go through the process of getting their dick cut off. Anyway, let's go into this. Casual transphobia. Is it really just a joke? Yes, it is really just a joke.
Hey guys, what's up?
Those are male legs.
So, I've been thinking a lot lately, and I've realized you can learn an amazing amount about society from its entertainment media. I say that, and I'm pretty sure everyone thinks, well, duh, of course you can. And I also think that
Your Adam's apple is still showing.
everyone knows that our media has been reinforcing hatred and ignorance for a really long time now. But
What? If anything, media goes out of its way to bend over backwards to you fuckers. What the fuck are you talking about?
we're making progress, right? Well, maybe not. Imagine you're watching a TV show. A man needs a date, so his friend buys him an escort. The man's terrified, but his friend reassures him that he'd never, and I quote, stick him with some toothless tranny from Port Authority.
If my friend bought me a hooker and that hooker had a penis, I'd be pretty pissed off with my friend. I hate to bring this up, lady, but you have a dick. I'm not interested, okay? I can be your buddy, but yeah, there is no such thing as lady dick. Just doesn't exist.
That word.
Again, we can be buddies, but the second I find out that you can piss standing up, I don't want to fuck you.
Tranny. People use it like it's just a synonym for transgender, but that word has a history of hatred and violence behind it. There's a word.
No, it doesn't. I hate to also bring this up, but no, it doesn't. I hate to also bring this up, but
That word has a history of hatred and violence behind it. There's a word.
no, it doesn't. I hate to also bring this up, but facts do not support it. There is no epidemic of violence against the trans community. I will say this for the 700th time. In 2018, there were 16,000 murders and non-negligent manslaughter cases. 25 of them were trans people. You are at a lower rate of murder than any other group, okay? Nobody's going around killing trans.
Word for words like that. They're called slurs. A slur is a slur, regardless of whether it's based on race or gender. But people call me tranny all the time, and they laugh about it. I don't take kindly to it.
I don't care. If a joke offends you, how does that affect me?
That's not their word to use.
You know, same way as you call me a cis straight white male piece of shit, I assume. You know, again, you can make fun of white men all you fucking want. But guess what, tranny? That means we get to make fun of you too.
And even we don't use it. And of course, they just tell me to chill, because no one likes an angry tranny. But hey, let's get back to our favorite TV show. It's a season later, and our main character is out on a date, and none of his friends like this girl. He wonders why. Maybe she murders puppies! Ah, but then he has a far worse thought. He sees their future wedding in his mind. He tells her how much he loves her, and then his future wife reveals that she used to be a guy. How horrifying! She's not a puppy killer, she's a tranny! And
Yeah, Because that would be a killer for me. And yes, I hate to bring this up. If you do want to keep yourself protected, dear trans people, you have a responsibility to tell a potential romantic partner long before you have sex that, hey, oh, by the way, I used to be a guy. Now, I could tell in 5 seconds that, you're a guy. The whole Adam's apple thing. But, yeah, you have a responsibility to tell them. Because I'd be fucking furious if I didn't know that. Sorry, not sexually attracted to guys. And we can dress you up and doll you up all you want. You're still a fucking dude.
And society laughs. It's like somehow
So what?
finding out a woman is transgender is literally worse than finding out that she partakes in animal cruelty and slaughter for fun. And then
Well, I'm assuming if she was a puppy killer, he'd probably... whatever. Jesus Christ. Yeah, a lot... probably 99.5% of guys, straight guys, are not gonna want to fucking date you because, you're a man. You do not have the parts that they're looking for.
society looks at me, and they think I'm a fraud and a liar who likes to get his jollies in the ladies' room or by tricking men into having sex with me.
Well, one... those kinds of cases have happened already. But two, yeah, we know you're a guy. Adam's apple.
And they laugh at me, like they laughed at the TV. And then I go home and cry, as another transgender child takes their own life and another black trans woman is murdered.
Once again, 25 of them were murdered in 2018. I don't have the stats for 2019. But do you honestly think any trans person is killing themselves because of a joke on a television show? Really? Here's a thought. Maybe, just maybe, the reason they're blowing their fucking brains out, and by the way, the suicide rate is through the roof, both pre and post-op, is because you're fucking living a lie. You need therapy to deal with this, not trying to think you can be a woman. You're not. Nature has decreed you're male. Sorry if that's mean, but that's true. You ever think maybe, just maybe, it's because they're trying to live a lie, and deep down they know it's bullshit. And by the way, I don't really have much sympathy because guess what? Suicide is your own fucking choice.
Wow, that got serious quick, didn't it? Not really, it's the same thing. There's a word for what we're talking about. It's called casual transphobia. So, what is that exactly?
Just like casual racism, casual sexism, casual misogyny, and any other buzzword with the word casual in front of it. Problem is, it doesn't fucking exist, and I have news for you. Words only affect you if you let them.
We all know transphobia, right? Actually, wait, that's not even true. See, most people I meet who are not trans have never even heard that word before. They say homophobic.
Transphobia is bullshit. Now, why do I say this? I'm not afraid of you. Phobia implies fear. You could say it's assholic or dickheaded. That'd be fine. But nobody's afraid of trans people. And again, stats don't back up the violence thing. And again, maybe, just maybe, some of the violence is trans people not being honest with their lovers. They're getting ready to fuck a guy, and then he notices a big old pair of hairy balls in his hand.
And that's...
Again, if you tell him and he says, you know what, that's fine, I don't give a shit. Fine, I don't give a fuck.
a perfect example of casual transphobia. It's not a guy out in the street holding a sign that says God hates trannies, or a man smashing a glass into a trans woman's face at a bar because his girlfriend was frightened by her transness.
That has literally never happened anywhere. And if it did, fine. That guy can get arrested and go to jail for assault with a weapon.
Drag queens throwing around the word tranny as though it were funny or even theirs to use.
What's the difference between drag queens and trans? There isn't one.
Total strangers on the street thinking it's okay to ask us how we pee or have sex or what genitals we own.
Well, if... Again, I don't think that happens all that often. I have been on the street next to trans people waiting to cross the street, and I generally generally my conversation with them is non-existent because I generally don't try to talk to strangers. I just don't care.
It's someone I know telling me how interesting I am or introducing me as their trans friend.
Why do I think that literally never happens?
People who don't judge or understand because they have a gay or trans cousin. It's seeing Caitlyn Jenner at Spirit as a Halloween costume. It's even some trans
So
people
what?
who treat pronouns like titles that have to be earned by dressing and acting stereotypically enough, and who police non-binary individuals by telling them that their
The pronoun thing is bullshit. Like it or not, genetically, you're a man. Fucking deal with it.
pronouns are real. It's the
Fine, my pronouns are attack, helicopter, and God Almighty.
person who tells a trans woman she doesn't look trans, as though transness was an insult and cis-passing was a compliment, and then keeps it up by telling her that her jaw kind of gives it away. It's even the well-intended
Well, it kinda does. Like, your Adam's apple kinda gives you away, and your jawline kinda gives you away. Like, you're not fooling anyone, sweetheart.
but still backhanded compliments from strangers who put the emphasis on how they think I'm really pretty. As though I wasn't already aware that my transness is
Believe it or not, I had a drunk guy think that I was really pretty from behind because of my long hair. Still not trans, though.
a part of my beauty. It's every time a cisgender actor gets cast for the leading role playing a trans character.
Oh my god, I swear to god. The reason that Scarlett Johansson got the fucking role instead of a cis or a trans actor is Scarlett Johansson will bring in millions of dollars and millions of people to see the movie. A trans actor that nobody fucking has heard of isn't gonna bring in shit.
In a film about trans lives, written by a cis person, directed by a cis person, and produced by a cis person for a cisgender audience.
Yeah, and this is why you'll never have any trans movies, because how many trans directors are there? Maybe 2? How many trans actors are there? Let's say 20? How many trans people in the entire film industry? What, 100? And an audience, and for a cis audience. The cis audience is like 99.9% of the population. What the fuck are you, like, what? You guys don't have a big enough audience to support a movie, unless it's made very, very, very cheap. And yes, at the end of the day, making movies isn't about making art, or a statement, or an important message, or what the fuck ever, calling something out. It's money.
It's the people rolling their eyes right now at my abundant use of the word cisgender instead of normal who don't understand that the word
cisgender is normal. The problem is normal is just what the vast majority of people are. Like, straight is the default, or normal. Being sighted is normal compared to being blind. You get the point.
Cisgender is absolutely necessary because transgender people are normal. It's every.
You are a man who thinks he's a woman. You're not normal, sweetheart.
Microaggression.
But again, you also believe in microaggressions. You also believe in transphobia. You're not normal. But again, you're an adult. Live your life how you want. I don't give a fuck. I do kind of get irritated now that we're trying to push it on to children who don't even have a fully developed brain yet.
And rude question. It's every harmful word, statement, and joke, and every laugh that follows. And the saddest part is that we have all done it, and we have all had the blood of transgender murder victims and suicides on our hands, because that is what gets us killed.
So I make a joke about Caitlyn Jenner's mutilated dick, and across the country some trans woman is killed, and again, you're not murdered whole hog. Nobody is killing trans people. Again, 16,000 murder cases, 25 of them were trans. Those are stats from the FBI, by the way. But I make a joke about Caitlyn Jenner's mutilated cock. 4 states away a trans woman's murdered, and somehow my joke got them killed? I don't know if there's enough fucking cocaine to keep me up long enough to connect those fucking dots.
Whoa, what an inflammatory statement to make, right? A lot of people would be offended that I would insinuate their complicity because they'd never intentionally do anything to harm a trans person. But that's the thing.
The vast majority of people do not harm trans people. Again, you guys are the least likely to be attacked or killed.
About casual transphobia,
The most likely group is men.
doesn't have to have hate behind it, it creates hate. And most of the time, it's not done intentionally. It's done out of ignorance, and most of the time, it's not even done by the people we would usually think of or who would think of themselves as transphobic. It's the rest of us who could change so much about the world if we just remembered that we need to challenge the status quo and accept that if a trans person says something is harmful to trans people, it is harmful to trans people.
I don't take anyone's good word, okay? They would have to show me evidence of how it harms them. And words don't have the ability to harm jack and shit.
And then the appropriate
Words cannot harm an egg, let alone a person. Grow the fuck up, Buttercup.
response to that is never to defend oneself, but always to acknowledge one's privilege, take ownership and responsibility for the mistake.
Fuck you. No, if you say that, if like this video you say is harmful to trans people, I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself. I don't care. How's that? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you think some son of a bitch's speech about how trans people aren't the most oppressed motherfuckers on the planet, and you think that's transphobic. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Grow up.
And fight for change. While we think about that, let's return to our...
Again, media, and it seems the, at least left in society, bends over backwards for you motherfuckers.
Hypothetical TV show. It's several seasons later, and we've seen transphobia run rampant through our main character's mind as a main staple of the show's humor. And it's never used satirically to fight transphobia, but always used to perpetuate tired...
I now want to make a TV show where it's basically tranny kickers.
harmful myths about trans people for a few cheap laughs. Certainly we'd never see such a show on television today. I wish that was true. But it's not hypothetical. It's How I Met Your Mother. And it won the GLAAD Award for fair, accurate, and inclusive representations of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender communities. No wonder the T sometimes...
So get pissed off with GLAAD. By the way, the gays and the lesbians are kind of pissed off with the trannies because, you know, lesbians don't want dick. You can't have like Riley Dennis calls himself, I'm a queer lesbian. No, you're not. You fuck your girlfriend with your goddamn cock. I mean, you should be happy she's a fucking 10, but you still fuck her with your biological penis. You're not a lesbian. You're a straight dude.
feels left alone in the hole after every...
Lesbians don't want dick. They want pussy. Same as gay guys. They don't want pussy either. Or they want dick. They just don't want pussy. I mean, and again, when the gay guys or the lesbian girls, when they say, I don't want to date you because you don't have the equipment that I'm looking for, you say they're transphobic. Sorry, you're living a fucking lie. Nature decreed that you're a guy. Not much of a guy, but a guy. Learn to live with it.
Everyone else has crawled out. Casual transphobia is the root of all transphobia, and as long as it is allowed to continue, we will keep losing trans lives. And
we are not losing trans lives at any great pace, okay? Again, you accounted for 25 of the over 16,000 murders in 2018. 2, we're not getting rid of the First Amendment. I'm allowed to make transphobic jokes, because jokes are just that. They're just fucking jokes.
we've lost enough. The death toll in the United States for 2015 alone is already into the mid-20s. And those are just the ones we know about, and I can guarantee you that number will probably go up by the time a lot of people see this video. So what can we do about it?
I don't know if that's accurate or not. I don't have the 2015 statistics, but I think if I remember right, the highest it ever got was 45. And that was a particularly violent year. But again, let's just say the 16,000 number was constant. You're 45 out of 16,000. You're still the most protected group. I guarantee you there were more gays murdered, there were more lesbians murdered, there were more bisexual people murdered in that time. You guys are the most protected group. You are not murdered at a disproportionately high rate. Just the way it fucking is. Sorry, these things called numbers are not on your side.
Simple. Erase casual transphobia from our vocabulary.
No.
Stop the slurs, stop the jokes, stop the assumptions, all of it. It's
Don't
harmful.
care, tranny.
And learn, if you're not trans, you never get to decide what is and isn't offensive and harmful to transgender people.
I don't give a fuck what you think is transphobic, okay? I don't give a fuck what you think is offensive. Fucking deal with it or leave. Tough shit. And if you actually did this to my face, because I know you're a guy, and you got your little finger up in my face, well, there's always violence. Remember, you're a guy. You can fight back.
That's our job. Your job
No.
is to shut up and listen and learn to respect human beings.
Fuck you. I ain't listening to you. I'm not respecting you. You can fucking deal with it, tranny. I don't give a fuck what you think is offensive. You still piss standing up. You're a guy. Fuck you. You want respect out of me from me? Fucking try to beat it out of me.
Beings for who they are. And as transgender people, our job is not to stand. I've learned
Oh, good. You're gonna be the one person in the bar creating a fucking problem.
a lot in my life that I end up losing friends and family and whatever sometimes for my transness. That's not going to change regardless of
I can't imagine why your former friends don't want to fucking hang around you with you constantly policing their fucking language. Gee, I can't imagine why.
whether or not I choose to correct them on this crap. And if someone is going to take
And by the way, there's a ton of trans people that don't give a fuck. Like, they can take a joke. And then I assume you would call them traitors. Like, you know, you'd probably call Blair White a trans traitor or what the fuck ever. Because that's how leftists operate. The second they have an opinion that is not with the lockstep, you know, group thought, then they are to be destroyed. That's the other thing. Trans people turn on each other quick.
more offense to me pointing out their
Generally
casual
leftist
transphobia
trans.
than they are going to take to the fact that transphobia is responsible for violence against trans people.
You are not. I've said this already.
I really don't need that kind of person in my life, and neither do you.
Why do I think you're gonna die alone?
As always, thank you so very much for watching, and I want to give a special thanks to my supporters on patreon.com. You guys make this channel possible. Thank you. Until next time, be
Fuck off. Yeah, I'm not gonna alter my behavior just because it offends you. Don't give a shit. I don't fucking care. Again, I'm not looking to start a fight, but you seem to want to. Anyway, that wraps up this one, Blair. Thank you for your attention. Biological penis. 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 Biological penis.